Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Jo, this is Joey Sewy, and today's video is all about how I've selected from my me-made and ready-to-wear wardrobe what I'm going to take on holiday. So before we get right into the video, I just wanted to chat very quickly about why there was a little gap in videos. I know you guys understand, but it's I was getting into videos, I was getting really excited, it was feeling easy, it was feeling super inspired. But I work as a psychotherapist, but that does not make me immune to having my own mental health. And I just had a bit of a dip, shall we say. And when I get a dip, I basically just get completely ashamed of myself. I am sure that to you watching these videos, that sounds ridiculous. But that is how it is. It's often, you know, it's something people can mask. I mask it very well. Look, smiley face. And now it is past and it's better. But it was just a pretty challenging week or so, and I wasn't in any headspace where I could be genuinely me, because the me you see is genuinely me. That's really important to me. And often if I try and film a video and I feel like it's just fake and I'm having to push myself to be this person who is the real me, well, they're all parts of me, but yeah, it's a horrible feeling, because it's just like having an argument with yourself. It's nasty. I think some of you might relate, some of you might not at all, but I'm fine. This is a lifelong thing. It's, yeah. But I just thought I would share that with you, because I was conscious that I hadn't made a video for over a week, and I'd been getting much more consistent, and you know, YouTube likes consistency, which is not top of my list, but it is nice to kind of get the algorithm my friend again. But also you lot like consistency, and you are top of my list when I make videos. So I'm sorry I wasn't around, but I think you'll understand why. And more to the point, I am here now. And I'm going to chat to you about the holiday that we are going on in 2 days' time. So a few weeks ago, well, it's not that long ago, is it? A few videos ago, I made a video about my summer sewing plans. Now, I want to state in my defence, when we get back from holiday, it will still be summer. So those plans are still valid. Also, haven't sewn them all. I have done hardly any of it, getting ready, partly because I didn't feel like doing anything. Everything was wrong. Everything was wrong. But yeah, so you're not going to see a lot of that summer sewing plans in what's behind me, sadly. And there's a wild card that I didn't even have on there that I've made anyway, because, you know, this is sewing, so I can do what I like. And I did. So our holiday, it's a road trip. We are traveling to France. We're traveling down England, through the Channel Tunnel, through France, including Belgium, getting eventually, after about 4 days, down to the Alps. So not all the way down to the bottom of France. And given the heat wave that Southern Europe is having, I am glad we're only going part way south. And we're going high, so it will be a bit cooler. So we're staying in Chamonix, which is a massively posh ski resort, but in the summer it is a little bit more accessible. So we haven't had to sell any of the children, which is, you know, on most days that's a plus. So we're staying in Chamonix for about a week. When we're in Chamonix, we're doing all sorts of things, and then we are driving up, staying in Strasbourg, which is kind of almost Germany but not Germany, then staying in Amsterdam, which is definitely in Germany or France, it is the Netherlands, and then eventually getting a ferry back across to the north of England and coming home. So I'm giving you that detail just to share, but also because it has given me such a lot of different occasions, events, activities to try and pack for. And although I am so glad that we have no baggage allowance to deal with, and it's partly why we decided to do this holiday this year, and also because actually it is a pilgrimage for my husband, because this is a version of a holiday that he has childhood memories of and loved. So there is that. But also no planes, no airport security, no baggage allowance in terms of weight, no getting your knitting needles taken off you at the airport coming home, even though you had them in the airport, in the aeroplane, on the way going. That happened to me last year. Very annoying. You can't argue. They can take anything off you if they want to, and they did. Not my project though, I hasten to add. I was prepared just in case, and it was on flexible needles. I took the ends off. They only wanted the pointy bits, and you can put stoppers on. So the knitting was saved, but the needles were gone. And it was really annoying because I'd literally sat in the plane, knitting in the cabin on the way there. Knitting needles are supposed to be allowed, but as I say, the foreign authorities, this was Crete last year, they can take anything off you that they want to, and they did. C'est la vie. There's your French. I'm not fluent. That's all of my French, really. Anyway, so it is really nice that this year I don't have to deal with any of that. I can take my knitting. I can knit in the tunnel. I can knit on the ferry. I can knit in the car. I will be doing these things. And I will also be doing a little bit of embroidery probably and sewing. And I always struggle to narrow down the craft things that I try and pack. At one point, my husband actually thought I wanted to take my sewing machine on this trip. Maybe at one point I did. No, I didn't, but there's no space. That's not happening. There's no time. Our feet aren't going to touch the ground probably. So all sorts of different things to pack for. We're visiting a garden, we're visiting war graves outside, sightseeing of cities, countryside walking, we're walking up mountains, we're going in a glacier, we're going whitewater rafting one day. What else? Fabric shopping in Amsterdam. I am looking forward to that. We are going past Paris. We're not stopping in Paris, which is amazing for fabric shopping. But we just started having a Google, like, oh, where else could I do fabric shopping? And the lovely husband was even helping me with that. And it turns out there are a few kind of button shops on the way that I might have on my list. But Amsterdam, which is at the end of our trip, it's got all the shops. So I don't know if anyone else is coming with me, but I am taking a day fabric shopping in Amsterdam. Oh yes, that's going to be fun. And hopefully I will take you along with me a little bit. I'm hoping to do some videos on the way. I can't promise, but fingers crossed. So hopefully you'll come to Amsterdam if you fancy it. So loads of different weather, because we'll be in England for a couple of days before we get into France. We'll be in northern France, then we'll be in the Alps. We'll be going up to the top of the mountains where it's only going to be about 5 degrees, even though at the bottom of the mountain it could be 25 degrees. All the situations. So how did I manage to deal with all of that? So number one, I bought a clothes rail. We're in my dressing room. I am that lucky. I have a dressing room, and I could do a room tour, but actually you've seen this room before and it hasn't changed since you've seen it. So I've got wardrobes on my left, which I wallpapered, and the only thing that's changed about those is that the cat scratched one of them up. On the right, I've got billy bookcases, which is where my shoes live. There's a chest of drawers down here. You've seen all of this, so I will link the video down below where I've done a room tour, and it was a wardrobe tour. Probably it's over 2 years ago, but the room hasn't changed. So I'm not going to re-room tour this room, but you can access it down below. But I wanted to use this for every family member. I've packed everybody else's stuff, but I wanted particularly so I could get stuff out and visualize it and play with it, because I knew I had lots of occasions, but also we may not have a baggage allowance, but we do have a finite amount of stuff we can fit in the car. And we have a lovely electric car, but it doesn't have the most massive of boots. We used to have an estate car. It's not that big. So we had to be mindful of how much we put in there. And also, I always overpack. I always pack too much and I don't wear things. So I wanted to try and get a bit more effective and efficient about what I'm taking. So stage one was I got a clothes rail. It was £20 from Argos. It's not an essential stage, but it has really helped me. Really helped me. It's a double height one, if you're interested. So it's got this one here and this here, which I have really found useful because it just gives me more space to visualize, and it was barely any more expensive than a regular one, so I would recommend that. Not affiliate, but I'll put a link down to the one I got in case you're interested. And when I finished with it, I'm going to take it partially apart and put it at the back of one of the wardrobes so I can use it for this kind of occasion again. So it's kind of an investment in self-care, and it has made this process much more fun. Stage two was I basically just went through my wardrobes. Only one of the two is mine. This one's mine, and my jumpers are over there. And I got everything out that I wanted to take with me. That was a lot of things. So I was like, oh yeah, I'd like to take that t-shirt, I'd like to take that shirt, or I want to take that, I want to take that, I want to take that. I knew I was going to get way too many things out, and I did. I had about twice that much. And then I made a spreadsheet, because I've never seen a problem that a spreadsheet can't solve. That's not true. I'm a psychotherapist, I see a lot, but I made a spreadsheet, and what I did was I listed out every day that we're away, where we are, what sort of things we're going to be doing, because obviously we're sat in the car quite a lot as well, so I needed to think about that. And I had a look at the outfits, and I started thinking, well, when I go and see the Sissinghurst Garden in Kent, which we're going to, what do I want to wear for a garden visit? Okay, I want to wear this outfit. When we are up on a mountain, I need to make sure I've got something that's going to keep me warm. So what am I going to wear for that? And I started to write down the outfits, and then I started to, for the more generic ones like city sightseeing, when I've got one outfit on one line for like day 3, for example, I just copy and paste the outfit so I repeated it, because if I'm just deliberately repeating outfits, then I know I'm getting more efficiency out of my wardrobe that I'm taking with me. And then I also, once I'd got 4 or 5 outfits there, so I've got my essential ones for sort of the unusual activities like top of a mountain. Oh, look, there's a cat. And whitewater rafting, which actually isn't here because we'll be wearing wetsuits, but and garden visit in the UK, which is going to possibly be rainy and definitely will be more cold than in France. Those sorts of things. I then started with the more generic, okay, this is a sightseeing city day. This is a sightseeing Wargraves day. So we're outdoors, walking, places when we're a bit more northern, places when we're more southern, kind of that sort of thing. So I was repeating what I'm saying. That was a lot of words, sorry. What I was trying to say was, by the time I'd built 4 or 5 outfits, one of the things I knew was the garments that were in those outfits. So then I started trying to think about repeating those garments in different combinations. So that way I narrowed down what I needed. And each time I was doing that, so I hung everything on the bottom, and then I made an outfit, and then hung it on the top. So there were things that were being left behind originally on the bottom rail that weren't in my plan yet. When I'd got quite a lot of outfits that way, the other thing I thought about was we'll be eating out nearly every night. So I needed sort of 4 or 5 different eating out outfits. Sometimes it'll be nowhere in particular, not fancy at all, but there are 1 or 2 times when it'll be really fancy. And I kind of like, I don't always follow fancy or not fancy rules. If I feel like being fancy, I'll be fancy, even if we're going to Pizza Hut. Not that we will be, but you know, whatever. So then I did 4 or 5 evening outfits, and then the next thing I did was I had a look through what was left. Was there anything on there that I really, really wanted to take with me? And if it was, then I moved it up to the top rail and tried to make an outfit with it, or I had to let it go. And then I just had another look. Actually, I was doing this throughout, which was, of these, which fabrics really crease when they're packed? And there were 1 or 2, I mean, to be fair, there are still some linen shirts in there. But generally there are some items that I've definitely chosen because I know they don't crease much, because we're going to be in and out of hotels. We won't be able to arrive, hang stuff up, because we're traveling a lot. We're moving 4 or 5 or 6 different places we're staying. So it'll be open case, get a couple of days worth of stuff out, and then everything else needs to stay in the case, because I'm not getting it out, hanging it up everywhere that we arrive. That is boring. So let me tell you about the garments that I've got, because that was a lot of waffle. It was essentially being quite methodical, thinking about the events, the occasions, the activities, and then trying to be quite restrained and restricted about only having a certain number of garments. So then kind of being very, not mean, but boundaried with myself about trying to restrict things down. So I have got 3 pairs of shorts. This pair, which is ready to wear. This pair, which is ready to wear, but I changed the length, and I believe that was in my June video. And then this pair, which was in my summer sewing plans for sure, which was a pair of jeans that I've cut off to be shorts. So you're going to get quite a preview of some of my July sewing in this video, because some of the things I've done. So that was on my summer sewing plans, cut off these shorts. I have done that. I know that certainly these two pairs of shorts, I can't wear them without belts. They don't fit. So then I would get a belt out, and I've got belts here. Then in terms of short sleeve tops, very dull. 2 white t-shirts, because white t-shirts don't stay clean very long, and they're so versatile. So I allowed myself 2 of those. Got this gorgeous top that I'm sure I showed you in my what have I been sewing. No, what did I wear in June? I didn't make this. It is handmade by someone else from one of the Pattern Magic books, and it's lovely. And it looks great with jeans. It looks great with these red trousers. It also looks really good underneath this tank top. So this tank top, it's quite warm, and it's good for a cooler day, so I can keep my arms a little bit barer, or short sleeve still, but this gives me some warmth, so it's quite good in terms of a cover up. So this shirt looks great under it, just having basically all you see is the white collar. The other thing that looks good underneath this is a white t-shirt, or a longer sleeve white linen shirt. So when I was picking things, something else I was considering is trying to have a very coordinated palette. So I've got quite a colourful wardrobe. That's not super colourful. It still feels colourful enough to be me, but it's pretty monochrome plus blue, I would say. There's greens as well. Other than the red trousers and the purple jumpsuit, it is really quite monochrome and neutral-ish. For me, it's pretty neutral. But I was doing that because then everything is interchangeable. There's not much point in me having one outfit that just stands out and doesn't go with anything else. So the red trousers may stand out as a colour. These are ready to wear trousers. I love these trousers. They're kind of still on the maybe list, although while I'm talking to you, I'm getting more and more convinced that I will put them in, unless my suitcase is bursting, because that's the one thing I haven't tried yet. I haven't actually tried putting these in a suitcase. As soon as I finish talking to you, that is what I'm doing next. So red trousers, you might think, oh, they're very bright and bold. Surely they're going to be a bit restrictive. But if everything or lots of what else you've got are neutrals or blue, I mean, red always goes with blue. And in France or England, red, white and blue, you've got to do it. Otherwise it would be rude. So that goes well enough. It wouldn't be my favourite, but you could even wear that. Red and green. Sometimes I worry about red and green because of it being too Christmassy. Not that that is. Anyway, so I've got like a ready-to-wear stripy t-shirt. I mean, you could barely get more French than that, could you? But that's a black and white t-shirt and red trousers. I've got white t-shirts. I've got obviously the black and white shirt. And then I've got black and white shirt. I've got a white shirt, a pink jumper. I love the red trousers and the pink jumper, so if it gets a bit colder. So I was checking out every single item I've got there will go with 4 or 5 other things that are there, and that was really important to me. So the other thing I've got down here, a couple of sleeveless tops. So this is the Mercer top. I have shown you this before, and coming soon, one of my next videos is going to be a review of this pattern. I've been saying that for a while. This is also the Mercer top, but I am going to do a review of that pattern. And then this is a gorgeous coloured, it was from a charity shop. I think it was 99p or something insane like that. Where is it from? River Island originally. But, thinking about pear shape, cowl neck, adds bulk, gathered sleeves, adds bulk, very drapey, tucks in well at the waist. It's just great. And it's a real teal, blue, green colour. So that goes great with every single pair of shorts. Every single pair of shorts. There you go, black and white, beige, blue. And it goes really well with the red trousers. I've got one pair of jeans here, and I'm actually going to travel in those because jeans are quite bulky. So grey jeans, it goes with those. I've got some dark blue legging jeans. So it goes with, how many is that? I've already told you 5, 6 different bottoms. And then in terms of longer sleeve tops, I've got 3 jumpers, which might be a bit excessive, but but I quite like the aesthetic of wearing a jumper and shorts. I'm a very novice short wearer because my confidence has only really got there this year. Just the 47 years it's taken me to feel confident to wear shorts. Although actually probably I was confident for the first 11 years or so. And then I lost it somewhere in the teenage mists where you lose a lot of your confidence, sadly. Anyway, so I'm a bit of a novice shorts wearer, and I've been finding I feel kind of more comfortable if I've got my legs out to have a bulkier top. Now, it may be too hot to do that, and if it is, that's fine. I have t-shirts, I have sleeveless vests that will help me out there. But if it is cool enough to do that, then I've got a cotton sweatshirt, which this was from H&M, and I'm pretty sure this was in my What Did I Sew in June video. I made it very cropped, and it is very cropped, but that means I don't have to tuck it in. I can wear it on top of all the shorts. It goes with all the shorts, and I probably wouldn't put it with the red trousers, but I would put it with the dark blue jeggings, as they're called. It's a bit of an ugly word in my opinion, but jean leggings, which I chose because they are not going to crease and are going to pack up really small because they're leggings. And it will go with, so it will go with the jeans, it will go with all the shorts. So it's very versatile again. I've got one jumper here that I'm going to travel in because it's a bit bulkier, and because it's a Paris brand. So I was like, okay, it's French. I love this jumper. I put some shoulder pads in it, so it is a ready to wear, off Vinted, of course. But I put some shoulder pads into it to make the shoulders a bit bolder on me so that it looks a better silhouette. It is a kids jumper because Kenzo is not a super cheap brand at all. Probably new, even the kids variation is pushing £100, and the adults are more than that. It's age 16 though, so their children's go up to age 16. So for a smaller body size like me, that is great. And I just love, it's a lion on this side, and I read that as like a panther on that side, and the print is amazing. So when I saw that on Vinted, I really wanted it, and so I got it, because at Vinted prices that is something that you can do. But I'm going to travel in that because we've not been having the warmest weather in the UK, and it's bulky to pack. So those are my criteria for what do I travel in. Now this jumper is really synthetic. So on the top of a mountain, we're not walking up the mountain, by the way, it's a cable car, so I don't need hiking clothes. But it's actually going to be really, 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 really warm. And it also doubles as like a dressing gown, cozying up at night when you're tucked up in your hotel kind of item. So it's got two functions. It's great for a colder day because it's quite synthetic, so it keeps you much warmer, in terms of, well, not being too breathable, which normally is a downside, but I'm taking it as a plus side. It's nice and cozy, and it's my dressing gown substitute. So I've got 3 shirts. These shirts were selected because they're great as cover-ups as well as shirts. So if it's really warm, I'm not going to wear any of these as just shirts, except maybe the linen one. So this one is a satin shirt from Zara, and this looks amazing underneath my purple jumpsuit. So my purple jumpsuit, I'll get it out, you've seen me wear it. It looks great on its own, but it also looks really great with this underneath it. So if we have any cooler evenings, it's a really good outfit. I just feel amazing in that. So I wanted to include it, but I can also use, because it's a button-up shirt, you can see the collar. I can use it as a cover over the plain white t-shirts, or I've got a couple of, these are actually running vests. I don't know if I'm going to run on holiday. I normally only run on a treadmill. But I am taking some black leggings that I can also wear for day wear, and these black vests, lost the word then, black vests, which I can also wear as day wear, but if I want to run, I've got them there. So again, multifunctional. I'm not going to take my running stuff on the off chance. I chose items from my running wardrobe that I can also wear as day things in case I chicken out of the running, or just to get extra wear from them. So this black vest would look great underneath a black and white shirt, for example. This is this from Zara as well? Yeah, this was from Zara via Vinted. And this is a gorgeous, it's really oversized. blue satin shirt, and again it looks really great over a white t-shirt and or over, sorry, with my blue jean shorts. Those two just look so classic together. It is a classic white linen shirt, which I was on about the non-breathability of the pink jumper before, but obviously linen, uber breathable, absolutely perfect. It's going to be crumpled and scrumpled by the first time that I wear it, even though it's been freshly washed, but it doesn't matter because it's linen and it will relax and it will look fine for a holiday look. So those 3 long sleeve shirts, I chose those as ways to cover up, and they also can be worn as shirts if we do encounter any cooler weather along the way. So here is, now forgive me, but I'm not going to show you this on yet, and it is a me made. I want to save it. I'll probably show you some pictures on holiday, but it is it, does it go that way? I think it goes this way. It is an asymmetric jumpsuit that I have made in some of the fabric I got from Fabworks. So it has one sleeve, it has a really exaggerated one sleeve, and then it is sort of midi length but trousers, and it's got a side zip here, and which I've had to seriously engineer so I can do it up. It was really tricky, that. It's not super, well, it's fitted, it's pretty fitted actually, but yeah, had to do a lot of engineering, but I will show you that when I'm talking about what I've sewn in July, because this was my wild card. This was not on the list, but I just woke up one morning a few weekends ago and wanted to make it, so I did. Yeah, so you will see this and it looks amazing on. I am super pleased with it, and that had to come. It is a bit of a standout because it's not breathable fabric. It's going to be quite warm, so it ain't going to be any good for daytime, I don't think, except in the cooler, and it's quite satiny, so honestly it looks really dressed up, which is not a problem when you want to be dressed up. It doesn't make it the most multifunctional thing, but this is about the only thing that I have chosen that really is only evening wear, so I forgive myself from that because I love it a lot. Then I've got one pair of essentially joggers, which again are really my secret pajamas. If it gets cold and for some reason or other I want to wear trousers a lot more than I expect, then they can be emergency trousers, but generally they are just there for lazing around in the hotel. Then I've got a couple of pairs of leggings because recently I got this dress, guess where? Yes, vintage, originally new look. I wasn't even looking for, I'd found something in a charity shop. I ended up taking it back because it was the wrong size, and it was a blue leopard print sort of shirt, and I really wanted to see if I could find it in a smaller size. I failed, didn't find one at that point. I found this instead, so it really wasn't a fail. How amazing is that print? It is just gorgeous. I love it. Sorry if I'm messing with the microphone there, probably was. But the thing is, I have been, because this is a shirt dress, okay, with gathered sleeve heads and gathered waist, well, a drawstring waist actually. But when I've worn this the first time, I actually wore it as if it was a really long coat. And it was quite a windy day, and I basically felt like I had a superhero cape on, in a good way. So I will put a picture in of me wearing this because I can't not share it. I just loved how it looked. And it gave me the idea, again, cover up, leggings underneath, which I wouldn't normally feel super confident to wear leggings without something over my bottom. I find it a bit exposed. You see young girls do it and they can look amazing, but I'm not a young girl, and I don't feel like I would look like them. Let's just put it that way. So I've got the leggings, I can do the look, I can wear a black vest, or I could wear a white t-shirt, and I can wear a coat over the top, but also of course it is a dress, so I can wear it as a dress. So it looks like it's maybe a one wear piece, but it's not, because it is really flexible. And I've got this visco dress, which I keep going on about wanting to copy, and I do. It's the one I would like to copy, but I love the original as well. So this dress has already been to France. It went to Paris last year. It's already swanned around Paris. Look, there it is. It's got ideas above its station, but I wear it a lot. And again, it's a maxi length shirt dress. This is viscose, so it's very breathable, whereas this is a polyester satin, probably polyester. So this is even more breathable, and I can wear it as a dress where it looks great, or I can wear it as a cover up. Oh, and then there's my purple jumpsuit. Let's just show you that, because that is a me made. And these leggings. So these leggings are me made. These are the Avery leggings by Helen's Closet. These are my streetwear and running leggings, just black. And then this is my purple jumpsuit, which you can't see very well. I'm going to be taking pictures and sharing them when I'm away. So the purple jumpsuit looks great on its own. It has got, doesn't look great on the hanger, but it has got a cowl neck top. It's got an elasticated, partially elasticated waist, and then very, very fluid, wide-legged trousers. So I love this, and it's sleeveless, so it's really cool to wear and very floaty and fluid. And that is good for the daytime. It'll look great for city sightseeing, I felt, but it's also good for nighttime. And this is the purple jumpsuit that looks absolutely amazeballs with this underneath it, or even on top of it. But if it's on top, it's another layer to take off when you go to the loo in a jumpsuit. So underneath or on top, both work. So that is my holiday wardrobe. We also have some belts and shoes, obviously. I hope you've enjoyed that. There's not a massive amount of me made, although there's quite a lot of things that I have tweaked. And there is a couple of jackets. I've got a classic denim jacket, and then there's this white jacket, which actually is, this was the jacket I wore to Buckingham Palace. This jacket is coming on holiday with me, but it is also going to be a project while I'm on holiday, because I've got some silk that I want to use to embellish the shoulders and the yoke area. So I'm going to show you, I hope, in my next video, my very next video is going to be me showing you how I'm laying that out. So I'm going to lay it out and pin baste it before I leave home, because I want to do it on a mannequin, and then I'm going to hand sew it in the car all around France. So you've got that to look forward to, and much more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it has been interesting to see how I have managed the process. This has been such kind of a revelation for me to be so methodical, and, to be honest, doing it so far in advance. I'd normally be doing this Friday tea time when we're going on Saturday morning. I hope you're going to have a lovely summer too, and you've got other plans, and I'll see you really soon. Bye for now.